Hello everybody, my name is Michael and today I'm going to walk you through our project which is Lumber Market Watch. So the first thing you can see, we have a custom URL here to lumbermarketwatch.com, which when I enter brings us to this home page. So the first thing, there's kind of a call to action here, talks about creating a free account, signing in, and kind of this tagline here that the market doesn't price in coastal lumber risk, but we do. That's kind of the mission statement behind this project. Cool. So scrolling down, you can see kind of a guide of what's inside our application. We have a live daily signal to either buy or hold. We have a coastal surge forecast, which is based on NOAA live data. We have real-time, near real-time macro intelligence, which is going to be the S&P 500 and 10-year Treasury yield, which is used to kind of balance the model's fragility to broader market trends. And you have a portfolio tracker with Alpaca that allows you to do paper trading to see how your portfolio would do. Next thing you can see here is kind of our data pipeline. We're taking in surge data as well as weather data. We're putting it into a long short-term memory model which has been trained on this historical hurricane data. And then from there, we do a filter based on the S&P 500 and 10-year Treasury yield, and then we produce a final signal to our users to either buy or hold. And then you can see our dashboard is able to adapt to your expertise level. So if you're a beginner, it gives clear, more simpler framing on the signals that are produced by the model. If you're an intermediate, it gives you a little bit more information about the model, and an expert has that top level of data with the raw kind of outputs from the model, as well as the ability to output CSV files of past trends. Cool. So now I'm going to show you the about page. So it's just kind of talks about what this project is, the Lally sprint that we were a part of. Kind of talks about the sprint over here, and the 4 components once again that are so integral to this web application. And then the research contributors. We have our advisor, Thalanka, and then we have the 6 people who are on the team. Then from there we have our contact page, which once again has our advisor and the 6 people from our team, as well as their emails, in case you would like to get in contact with them or anyone who's using our web application would like to get in contact with them. Next, we have our pricing page. So right now, this application is connected to Stripe on the back end, and so that allows users to pay $9.99 a week with a 7-day free trial to get full access to the pipeline and the dashboard. It gives a list of all the things that come along with the paid access, and then some common FAQs regarding the subscription. Next thing we're going to do is sign in, and to sign in here, I just need to grab my 2FA that was sent to my email real quick. But for the back end of the sign up here and sign in, we're using Clerk, which automatically integrates things such as Google sign in, Apple sign in, email, and then 2FA. So all those things are handled by Clerk, which makes it nice and convenient for a project like this. Cool. I'm just working on getting my 2FA here. I'm going to enter that. Cool. Let me get success. And I have access to the dashboard. So here, we're going to look at our dashboard. Oh, this is kind of what it looks like if I'm not a paying subscriber yet. So you can see it gives me information on what being a paying subscriber gets me access to. And then if I go into chat, once again, this is a feature that is only for premium users. So you have to be a paid subscriber to get access to it. And I'm going to now activate this account so you can see what it looks like if you are a paid subscriber. So we're going to reload the page. Let's see. Cool. And now we've subscribed, I've activated subscription on the back end for this user. And you can see now we have access to the dashboard. And we're first greeted with a choice. We can be beginner, intermediate, or expert. And they all have kind of different looks to the dashboard. We're going to start with beginner. And we're greeted with a tour of our dashboard. So you can see we have the trading signal, and it's in plain English. Hold off for now. There's no complicated inputs or outputs here with raw LSTM scores or complicated numbers. You have a high confidence score. We have our macro panel. Now we have the surge information about each of the ports. And right now, if there was any flood parcels that were impacted, we'd have a breakdown of all of those parcels, but there isn't any right now. And well, now we have signal history, which talks about what the signals look like in the past. It's been all hold recently. And then we have our paper portfolio where we can buy and sell different stocks in our paper portfolio. And then we have our model. So we've implemented a Llama 3.3 70 billion parameter model. You can ask questions about the data that's coming in as well as the website as a whole. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Cool. So let's just explore the dashboard here after the tour. You can see everything. And let's say you want to buy some stocks. I'm going to buy this lumber stock, but I don't have any money in my portfolio. So up here, I should be able to add some money to my paper portfolio. Oh yes, add paper funds. Click it, I get this drop down. I'm going to add $25,000. Okay, it's a good amount of money. And then from there, let's say I want to buy 100 shares. Can buy, and then this goes onto my portfolio. You can see the total value, how much cash, how much we're invested, and this is kept in a database and will update as the stocks, these lumber stocks, continuously update. Then from there, I can see the recent signals in 1 day, 7 day, 30 day, or all time. And now, if let's say I want to change my level, say I'm kind of looking for an intermediate dashboard, I can hit this change button, and we'll take a look at the intermediate dashboard. Save changes. We'll go back to our dashboard. So now we have a confidence score instead of just a plain English kind of number, as well as a height for each of the current storm surges at each of these ports. Additionally, we have our confidence score graphed over time as our signal history. And those are just a few of the changes that are made when you switch from beginner to intermediate. And I'm going to show you our last one, which is expert. I save changes and go to expert. You can look at our dashboard and see I'm now in expert mode. And now I'm getting a raw LSTM score here. We're going to explain that this confidence score is softmax. We kind of have the same profile here for the surge. And then we have the ability to export CSVs of all of our trades that that have happened, as well as our portfolio value over time. And you can do the same thing for the signal history. There's kind of some features that maybe a more pro user might want if they're going to take information from this model and run it on their own code or their own backend. So moving on, I'm going to take a look at our chat. So our chat here works by calling an API to, like I said before, Llama 3.3, which is a 70 billion parameter model. And from there, every single chat message that each user makes is embedded into Pinecone, which is a vector database. And from there, it gives the large language model the ability to recall previous chat interactions that users have had, as well as call in different information throughout the website. So I've actually tokenized a lot of the context in each of the pages for this website. And so if a user asks information about a specific page or action that can be done, it can provide links to that page. So let's say I want to ask, how do I change my subscription? Cool, and I can ask this to the model, and then it gives me some links to, pricing, FAQs, kind of all that good stuff. So this is kind of the vector database in use. And now let's say I want to say how let's say let's say I want to like ask it, so I just want to say, give me the model over the last 30 days. Give me the signal history. And then it will kind of tell me about what the current confidence is. I can also ask it broader, like, what are the lumber stocks and what do they do? And it gives me a little bit of information about kind of what the lumber stocks are and what they do, as well as that I have a current position in RYN. It's just pulling information from my personal profile. Now you can go to settings. You can see you can manage your subscription here. We can change our photo if we would like. We can set our name. And then we can restart our guided tour if we'd ever like to. Then we'll look at our admin page. So you can see we can change the roles, we can add subscriptions, you can revoke access, kind of all that good stuff, as well as see to make sure everything is configured correctly. And then if I go back to our transparency, which I don't know if we talked about before, but you can see where all of our data is coming from. From NOAA here, we have weather data, we have data from buoys, we have historical hurricane data, which is what we're trained on. Then we have paper trading through Alpaca, our macro indicators. And all of this is to reduce entropy overall for the user so they know where exactly all the data is coming for so they can have a greater trust in the signal that our model is producing. Then you can see what we call flood parcel impact by region. So this is NOAA data in conjunction with FEMA, where you can see specific information about each parcel that we're predicting the storm surge for, as well as how many parcels in that area are affected, how many people are there, how much property value, and what that property is comprised of. And this is all to kind of give a better estimation of what the rebuilding costs look like, how much lumber the area will need to rebuild after the storm. More information there, and then more information about our model. We're using a long short-term memory model, otherwise known as an LSTM. We have training data from 05 to 2023. We have this binary classification. We use softmax. We're looking back 14 days, and then we're using gradient boosting. And of course, we have a disclaimer saying this is a research project, and our past model success does not necessarily guarantee future results. Cool. And then at the end, I'll show you one more thing here. We can go and manage our account. Once again, we can change our profile, update it, or we can delete our account, see all the devices which we have access to the account for, and update our password. And with that, the last thing we can do is sign out. And we're back. Well, thank you for coming on this tour with me today and getting kind of a brief tour of this web application that we've built over the last 30 days. The great team of people who have helped build this application. I give a special thanks to all the folks at Lally who gave us money to support this project, made it happen, and a special thanks to our mentor, Philanka, who has guided us throughout this process. Thank you.